bad thoughts of someone trying to come and like, it's gonna sound crazy. I don't want to, scare you guys. Like someone's trying to come hurt me, and I would open my eyes because like I couldn't accept it. But now that, now that I've been able to get those thoughts, but now I'm able to, get them away and now think more positive thoughts. Now is the growth. That's what, if that's happened to you as well, fam, just know that it's growth and it's healing and it's molding. So, it's great that we're getting rid of those negative thoughts, those negative paradigms, and now we're starting to see more clear, because that's the power, right? The power is in clarity, right? The power is in clarity. So, I'm super excited for this call, family. I'm super excited to be back, again, and to be able to run another Mornings with Neno, with you guys, and just, give you guys a powerful message. And, I'm ready to share this message with you guys, because I heard this message last week, and I've been prepping and I've been learning and I've been wanting to really share this with as many people. And I want you guys to write down, okay, this is going to be the title for the call today. Write this down. Frustrated by change with a question mark. It's going to all make sense. I promise you guys. By the end of the call, it's going to all make sense, right? The title is Frustrated by Change with a question mark, right? I'm going to be speaking about two things. We're going to be speaking about change, and we're going to be speaking about transition. So you can write down those two words, change and transition. Now, I want you guys to understand something, fam, okay? Change is external, right? Change is external. Change could be weather, right? Change could be in our body, right? Change could be when it comes to, something globally, like the pandemic. You guys remember how quick everything changed? You guys remember last year when everything was good, and in a split second, next thing you know, everyone is panicking. The hospitals are getting filled. You see everything that's going wrong. Everything just changed quick. Look, Sierra said it, quick. And it's because change is quick. Change is externally. I want you guys to understand that. Change is something that happens right away. The same way that we could just jump up and we change from sitting down to now we're up. That's how change is, right? Change, it said that change is a situation. The topic is frustrated by change, right? We're going to be speaking about two words, change and transition. The topic is frustrated by change. Now, I want you guys to understand, right? I want you guys to understand something, that it said that change is a situation that is imposed by outside circumstances. Yep. Michelle said it, frustrated by change with a question mark, right? Or an unforced condition. That's change. It happens quickly and happen externally, right? That's change. Now, transition, okay? Transition, it said, is internally. Transition is inside, okay? Transition is inside, right? Transition is a psychological event, right? That's transition. Now, like I said before, fam, change happens quickly. May you repeat change one more time. Yep. So change is external, right? Change is external. Is anything that's happening on the outside. Change happens quickly, right? Sometimes you guys know, we were like, we want to change, we want to change, we want to change. We can change, right? We can change. We can go from going to sleep early or going to sleep late to going to sleep early, from waking up late to going to waking up early. We could change. We could change our habits. It happens quickly. It happens from the outside. It's externally. Now, transition is powerful. Okay, transition is always in the internal. It's always in the inside. It's a psychological event. Okay. Now, if you begin to walk, that is transition. Write that one down. If you jump, that is change. Change happens quickly. If you begin to walk, that is transition. Right? Now, some of us, right, this is what it said. It says some of us, we can get frustrated by change because we're unwilling to endure the process of transition. You guys can write that one down, right? Some of us, we get frustrated with change because we're unwilling to endure the process of transition. I want you guys to understand something. Transition is where the power is at. Transition takes time. This is what I want you guys to understand, right? When we start our entrepreneurship journey, right? When we start to, to change what we're doing. When we go from working a 9 to 5, okay, to now, working for ourselves, building a business, that is transition, but it takes time. So listen, it said some of us, I'll repeat it one more time, fam. I got you guys. Some of us, we can get frustrated with change, okay, because we are unwilling to endure the process of transition. Key word, process. Process is the key word because we have to trust the process. You guys, a lot of times, sometimes the people that you bring into your environment, sometimes you bring into your business, they are unwilling to endure the process of transition. So they stick to change because change is quickly. Okay. Transition takes time. Transition is the process. So where the transformation happens, okay, write this down. Where the transformation happens is in transition. Transformation equals transition, not change, not change. No, transition is what equals the transformation. So if you want to transform from being who you are, Michael, if I want to transform from being the person that I am right now to the person that I want to become, we must understand the transition. And with the transition, someone commented, there comes habits, daily habits. Daily habits isn't change. Transition with the habits is the transformation. Okay? Change is quickly. Remember, fam, change is quickly. So I want you guys to understand, okay? I want you guys to understand something that I wrote down. It said, listen to this, fam. This is very powerful. It said, just because your feet are strong, okay? Just because your feet are strong and just because your legs work, okay? And just because you know the strength to stand doesn't mean you understand walking. And I'm going to say it again, right? I'm going to say it again. It said, just because your feet are strong, okay? Our feet hold us. Just because our feet are strong, just because our legs work, okay? And just because we know the strength when it comes to standing, it does not mean we understand how to walk. Please don't let that go over your head, family. That's very powerful. Very powerful. We could have the strength in our feet. We could know that our legs work, right? We can know we're strong, okay? But that does not mean that we know how to walk. Do you guys understand that? Type of 111 in the chat box, fam, if you guys understand that. I'll repeat it one more time. If you guys understand that, type of 111, right? It said, okay, that just because our feet are strong, right? Just because our feet are strong, just because we know that our legs work, all thanks to God, right? That our legs are working. And just because we know that we have the strength to stand up, okay? We have the strength to stand up, okay? That does not mean that Michael knows how to walk. That does not mean that you know how to walk, right? It's deeper than that. It's deeper than that, okay? So I want you guys to understand that because that's very powerful. And when we're doing that, when we're understanding that, guess what, fam? We are now in transition. We are now in transition. We are now walking with God. Someone said it. Someone said it, right? Someone said it. We are now walking with God. We are now in transition. And sometimes, right, it doesn't make too much sense when we are in transition. It doesn't make too much sense when we are in transition because we're so used to change, but we're not used to transition. Sometimes, listen, fam, sometimes when we're in transition, we can feel trapped. Can we type trapped in the chat box? Can we type trapped in the chat box? Right? It's all a message from Stephen Furtick, fam. If 100% honest with you guys, my main, like one of my top mentors right now that I've been really listening to, I've really been investing my time into is Stephen Furtick because I can relate with him on so many levels. I can feel his energy. I love the way he preaches. I love it, right? He speaks about it. And we're speaking about the topic, frustrated by change. And he said that sometimes you can feel trapped in transition. Sometimes you're trapped because you don't know whether or not you're gonna go out to the club one night. You don't know whether or not you don't know whether or not you want to stay home. You don't know how to say no to the things that are holding you back. So now you feel trapped because you know you want to change. You know you're in transition to becoming a better person, but you're trapped because you don't know whether or not to go do what you were doing before or to continue to do what you're supposed to do to become better, right? So he speaks about being trapped. He speaks about not understanding. He speaks about it, right? And as I'm thinking about this, I feel it because I struggle with saying no, right? You come back home, you get comfortable, you struggle with saying no. And that's just you falling into that trap in the transition, right? We're falling into the trap of being in transition. So we have to understand that it's okay to say no. Jessica said, I don't party at all. That's great, right? I want you guys to understand this message. Sometimes this message is not meant to be heard by all, but it's meant to be heard by some. Sometimes you can take one thing away, but it's okay. If you don't party, that's great, right? But maybe in another way, you can feel trapped. Maybe it's not going out to party, but maybe it's chilling. Maybe it's doing something else. Maybe it's family, right? It could be something. I'm just using going out as an example because you guys know that we're used to working on the weekdays and the weekends is our lit time, right? It's our lit time. It's the time that we go out. It's the time that traps us and the new week comes and we repeat the same thing we repeated last week. It traps us. Don't allow your weekend to be your weekend. Don't allow your weekend to be your weekend, okay? So it said, okay, it said, let me see right here. It said, all right, someone said social media is definitely a trap. Listen, this is what Shelle told me. I'm going to share this really quick with you guys. Shelle told me, don't allow social media to run you, but you run social media. Those are Shelle words. If you feel like social media is a trap, it's because you're allowing it to run you. Social media should be towards your advantage. Don't allow social media to run you. You run social media. Guess what, fam? You know what's the best thing you could ever do? Is take time away from social media sometimes. Take time away. Look, Pearl said it's a tool. Don't allow that tool to become a burden. Don't allow that to happen, fam, all right? So, look, the reality of it, okay, to get back into topic, the reality of transition is that transition takes time. Like I said, change happens suddenly, okay? Change happens suddenly. Now, Stephen said, okay, he said, to be trapped in transition is to be waiting for your mind to catch up with the transformation that has happened in your life, okay? Don't miss that message, fam. Listen to be trapped in transition is to be waiting for your mind to catch up with the transformation that has already happened in your mind. So when your mind, okay, hasn't caught up to the transition that you have made and you're still doing what you're doing before, that's when you're trapped. Like we were just saying before, right? To be trapped in transition, okay, fam, I got you guys. To be trapped in transition is to be waiting for your mind, okay, to catch up with the transformation that has already happened in your life. That is feeling trapped in transformation, in transition. Now, right, that means that we were just speaking about earlier, right? When you're in transition of becoming a better person, okay, but your mind still hasn't gotten there. Your mind is still on what it is used to before. Your mind is still thinking about going out. Your mind is still on chilling. Your mind is still on used to the old habits. So your mind, your life is in transition, but your mind hasn't caught up to the transformation that your life has happened. Hasn't caught up to it yet. So you're trapped, right? You're trapped. Okay. So I want you guys to type a 111 in the chat box for me really quick, right? Type a 111 in the chat box for me really quick. If you ever felt frustrated, okay, when you know that you have something valuable to give, but nowhere to put it. If you guys, right, if I'm gonna say it one more time. Have you ever felt frustrated because you know you had some sort of value to give, but nowhere to put it, right? And even more frustrated when you're in a relationship, right? You're in a relationship, and he said, you're in a relationship and you feel you have something to give, but nobody to receive it. Nobody to receive it. You're never. I know not all of us are in a relationship on this call, all right. But some of you might be in a relationship and you feel frustrated because you have something to give, but nobody to receive it, right? And when you want to give more, right? When you want to give more, but when you look to give, you sometimes don't have nowhere to put it, and now it can get tough. You can get frustrated because you know you have something to give. Yesterday on Noches con Mikey, we were on a call and some girl spoke and she said, look at all these affirmations I had written for my boyfriend. Look, no, not her boyfriend, her husband. I'm not gonna say no names. She said, look at all these affirmations I've written for my husband on the wall. She's like, I believe in you, baby. I love you. She wrote all these amazing affirmations. And when she started speaking, I said, yo, that's so beautiful. That's love. Because a lot of the times people are in toxic relationships. They don't know what love is. They think love is what they're living, and that's not love, but that's love, and that's God, right? And you want to know what her response was to me? She said, he doesn't even understand. She said, I wish she could hear what you're saying right now, because he doesn't even understand. He thinks I'm crazy. Frustrated. You're frustrated by the change because you know you have something to give, but you just don't know where to put it. Right? And I'm sharing this with you guys because I want you guys to understand that we all feel the same pain. We all go through similar things. Fam, I'm never gonna be nowhere near perfect. It hurts, it's frustrating, but guess what? With this comes the transition, and with this comes the molding, and with this comes the growing. I need you guys to understand that. I need you guys to understand that, fam. So look, because I know I have to pass it off in a little bit. Look, really quick, fam. Okay, really quick. Transition, okay, write this down. Transition is a skill. Okay, transition is a skill. Change is a gift. Okay, transition is a skill. Change is a gift. Thank you, Josie. Thank you so much, right? Write that one down. It's all going to make sense. Trust me, guys, it's all going to make sense because the greatest test comes in transition, right? You guys feeling me? The greatest test comes in transition. So if you're getting tested right now, you are in transition. If you feel like, Michael, my back is against the wall. Michael, I'm getting tested. Michael, every single day, nothing is just going my way. Michael, what's going on? Listen, king, queen, you're in transition. You're growing, right? You're in transition. And our biggest breakthrough, Neno says this, our biggest breakthrough comes with our biggest test. With that biggest test is what comes the biggest breakthrough. So do not fold. Do not fold. Let it mold you. You're getting tested. I want you guys to know that as you guys are getting tested, guess what? I'm getting tested as well. We're all getting tested. But guess what? Our biggest breakthrough is coming. Because when the greatest test, okay, when we're facing our greatest test is when we're in our greatest transition. Okay. All right. So look, fam. Let me see what else I got here for you guys, right? That I wrote down. All right. Someone said this, right? Someone said this. Okay. Someone said this in the chat box. God is growing us up. God is growing us up in transition, right? Because I want you guys to hear this message really quick. God is growing us up in transition because he's teaching us to stand even when it's uncertain. Even when we're uncertain, he's still telling us stand, right? Even when it doesn't seem to be happening, guess what, fam? We're still standing. Faith, right? Even when we know that we can't see it on what we want, we're not seeing it, we're still standing. We're still standing, right? Because he's teaching us to stand no matter what comes, okay? Because it's faith. It's faith. Belief, trust. So while we're in this transition, we have to understand that we must stand. Be still in the noise. That was beautiful. Someone commented. right? Be still in the noise. So I want you guys to understand that transition takes time, fam. Transition takes time. Now, our decision, okay, listen to this. Our decision is what we do, right? So we have a decision. Can we type decision in the chat box? Can we type decision in the chat box real quick, fam? Right? Decision, 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 decision. Is that one decision that we make? So we now have a decision whether or not we hold on to what's old or we lean into what's new. Okay? We can either hold on to what's old or we can lean into what's new. Remember last call that we had was what? What was the last call that we did, fam? Type it in the chat box. What was the title of the last call that we did last Wednesday? Make room for the new, right? So now we have a decision to make when we're in change and transition. We can either hold on to what's old or we can lean into the new, right? We can lean into the new. Now, when we're going through this process, all right, when we're going through this process through change and transition, I want you guys to understand something very important. Very, 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 very important. That a lot of people are not going to like it when you start to change. A lot of people are not going to like it when you start to transition. They're just not going to like it, right? Because they want you to stay the same way. They want you to stay how, they've been viewing you for however long they've known you. Okay, so I need you guys to understand something. People are not going to like it when you start to change. And that's why we must separate to elevate. True or true? Very true, right? Someone said, bye-bye, Charlie, right? So when you're around the people, the same environment, right? When you're around that environment, okay, and your own family, and they start to see you say affirmations, they start to see you meditate, they start to see you journal, they start to see you do all these different things, they see you on your phone on all these Zoom calls, they don't want you to change. They're like, you know what? No, what are you doing? It doesn't work. Go work a job. They don't want, they're going to be threatened by that change, right? So it matters. Listen to this. It matters what you cling onto during your transition. Listen to this. It matters what you cling onto. What are you going to hold on to when you're in the transition? Because when I was going through my worst times, I clinged on to Neno, right? When I was going through my worst times and I didn't have the right environment, guess what? Neno came and I clinged on to Neno and he helped me, right? Because I understood that the people that I was around were not going to help me change and get to where I wanted to go. So it's important that you cling on to the right thing, the right people, the right environment, right? I need you guys to understand that. So this season, it's a new month, right? It's a new month. We all know that tomorrow is October 1st, right? Tomorrow is October 1st. So listen to this, fam. We're going to have to cling on to something that's new and uncomfortable. Listen to that. Remember that I said this. You're going to have to cling on to something that is new and uncomfortable. You're going to have to move forward in this transition in life different than you did before. Something new and uncomfortable is something they're going to have to cling on to this new season. I need you guys to understand that. If you want to move forward in the transitional season in your life to end this fourth quarter, you have to cling on to something new and that is uncomfortable. It's time to let go of the old programming. It's time to let go of the old paradigms, okay? And it's time to start embracing the new. Remember last time, make room for the new, right? I'm gonna say one more thing because I have to pass it over to Chastity, right? I'm gonna say one more thing because I have to pass it over to Chastity. I have a few more things, but listen to this because this is very powerful. Just because a man or woman, listen to this, fam, just because a man or woman can walk does not mean they can stand by themselves. This hit me different. Just because a man or woman knows how to walk does not mean they can stand by themselves. Just because you can walk, sometimes people don't know how to stand by themselves. Sometimes people don't know how to love themselves. Sometimes people just can't be by themselves. And I need you guys to understand this because it's so powerful when it comes to loving yourself, when it comes to being alone, when it comes to knowing who you really are. And there's no better than that when it comes to spending time alone, fam. I need you guys to understand that. Very, very, very powerful message. So you cannot take what's old into the new. You cannot hold on of what's new while you're still holding on to what's old. You must let go of the old to receive the new. I need you guys to understand something. God is giving birth to something new in your life. God is giving birth to something new in your life. He's giving birth to something new in your life. Do not block that blessing holding on to what's old. Please, 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 fam, listen to me. Do not block that blessing. He's birthing something new into your life. Cling on to the new. Become uncomfortable. Continue to pray to God. Continue to believe in God, fam. That is my time. I'm going to pass it over to Jasmine. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. All right. And I'm going to see you guys next time on Morning.